Well, I gotta say, I was never all that crazy about the Doctor meeting historical figures, especially having adventures with them and that sort of thing. Some of the best ones were, stories that would take place at a certain time period, and you're dealing with fictional characters in that aspect, but then something along the lines would give a nod to whatever the particular time period was, or an event or what have you that was within it, and that's all well and good. I didn't particularly care for the Vincent Van Gogh episode and that sort of thing, because that it tends to cheapen the actual character. But sometimes I don't know, they make it work. With Churchill and all that. But even that was kind of like, come on. But yet that was a show that was in better hands. And, they're able to form an episode that functions. This current crop of writers, what have you, can't do it. And I know they initially said that they want it to be an educational program, and it's just, they're not good at it, and they don't always get aspects right, and it's just like they need to move on to just adventure. But the problem there is they can't even do that. So yeah, Nikola Tesla's here. He wasn't humiliated or insulted as I thought he would. That was for Thomas Edison. What are you gonna do? And that whole battle between the two and everything. But it wasn't as much as it seems to be. But nevertheless, there's just so much here. They're not even paying attention once again to their own narratives. Edison's whole factory crew gets wiped out, and there's a moment where even Edison is like, "Hey, these were people who worked right." He cared about him, so I was kind of impressed. I thought he was going to be this heartless businessman that they do, which they would go back to, but he genuinely cared about. But he seems to be the only one who cared about these people who got wiped out. And then, on to the silliness, and it's just forgotten. There's aspects of their previous shows, of things that have happened to them. Does Ryan still suffer from the dyspraxia or not? Did I miss something? Because he leaps between train cars in this episode. There's a moment where he seems to pause, and I guess that was giving acknowledgement to that. And he had to have Yaz saying, "You can do it," and he does it. I don't know. But anyway, the one thing they probably thought was going to be clever, it actually reminds me of an old Saturday Night Live sketch where they were making fun of 50s sci-fi movies, and these aliens arrived, and they were making demands and threatening the Earth, and they were saying, "You're all puny humans," and all this stuff. And so, as a demonstration of our power, and they pulled out their weapon, and all it was a flint lock rifle. And then the humans are astounded by this, and it's like, what's going on? Well, why do they think that's an impressive weapon? And they realize that these aliens were actually probably just cheap scavengers who had come across a flying saucer and stole it. And so the humans demonstrate a machine gun, and the supposed invaders say, "Well, we're wasting our time with you puny humans," and so they leave. So this is what you got here with these new monsters. At first, it kind of leads you to believe it might be the Silurians or maybe even the Ice Warriors, but no, it's the Skifra. They're a bunch of scorpions. 8 creatures, but their queen is just a Power Rangers villain. And I don't know why she isn't a scorpion looking thing. But anyway, there she is. It's really bad. This was a bad get up for her. But, what are you going to do? Skifra are scorpions, but skid marks. They're the skid marks, and they apparently they just steal and scavenge other people's stuff. So even their ship was probably stolen from who knows what, and on their ship is all this different weapons and technology and whatnot. But they're idiots, and so they've come to abduct Nikola Tesla to be an engineer for them, to make sure all their stolen crap works. It I know there's all these myths about Tesla and stuff, and he was a brilliant man and all that, but even the stupidest alien with Starship technology and knowing how to operate it and fly to another planet is not really going to need Tesla. I just, no. So I don't know how else. I mean, they would need to come up with some other means by which to craft it. Perhaps they figured, his brain was better than most, so they juice him with technology and knowledge to where he can do things on their level that's better than that they are. But they didn't think it through, just like they didn't think through the massacre at Edison's factory. But so yeah, there you go. Meanwhile, once again, you get the ridiculous demonstration of that the doctor is now just a school teacher for kids, even though the kids are adults. But maybe they should have had the companions. Oh God, I'm sorry. Oh geez, I am so very sorry. They're the fam now. You can't say companions. That's insulting. So the fam probably should have actually been children, so they could get a lesson, because each adventure is a classroom lesson. And this is Nikola Tesla, and I always wanted to meet him. Well, why didn't you? There's always these lines thrown around to the doctor. I hung out with so and so, and for some reason never did hang out with Tesla, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, they're after Tesla. They got the Scorpion scenes for what they are. It's fine. I know it's bad CGI, but the thing about Doctor Who is I never really cared about their special effects. Sometimes it was really bad to the point that it pushes you out of the story. But for the most part, Doctor Who just had good stories, so you didn't really care. That's not the case now. So I didn't really care, and in some of the scenes it worked okay when they're Yaz and Edison are being chased through the city, and it was odd. But he pulls out a pistol and starts shooting, but they teleport away, and then Yaz seems to be disgusted that he has a gun. But then the next minute he shoots one of the Scorpions and it dies. So it's like it's a good thing he had it, huh? I don't know. You can't keep track of where they're going here. So the Doctor and Nikola Tesla come up with a plot. No, there is no plot. A plan to use his, his tower that he had constructed for his idea about free energy and all that. And they use it as a death ray to zap the ship. But they needed the Queen to be on the ship, so they had to bamboozle her back onto it and all this stuff. And it's all fine and stuff, but by the time you get there, you just don't care anymore. So, and it's odd because all this stuff about the Doctor doesn't want you killing people or anything anymore. It looked like she was really on board with wiping out the skid marks. I mean, it's just, you had your chance to evolve and you didn't, so now you're done. And they fry them. Now they show the ship leave, like let's get the hell out of here, and they leave. So they can come back, please don't. But they so you didn't necessarily kill him, I suppose, but it sure looked like the Queen was being fried, and the Doctor was 100% on board. So hey, Graham's got to be sitting there thinking, hey, what the hell? I wanted to kill Tim Shaw, the evil Tooth Fairy, and you gave me a lecture and a riot act over that. What the hell? And so, it's just not a very consistent continuity even within itself. It never is. It's bad. It's so bad and lazy. And Graham, who showed some potential, is now just a joke. There's still some back and forth that he and Ryan would make a good team. Like some people said, maybe Graham should have been the Doctor and then Ryan could be his Jamie, But at this point, it's just I don't care. They're just being wasted here and turned into jokes. So this is another loser. I can't say that it's as insulting as the last one. The last one was just so bad. The way, they ended it, and the whole thing was just so you could get lectured again. This one is, well, capitalism bad, blah, blah, blah. But I can't say that it broke the fourth wall as much as the last one did, except for, the doctor has to give you a lesson on the history of Tesla and all that. But so that's the good thing I can say about it, is it wasn't as bad as the last one. But it was still pretty bad. And it's just, again, a lot of them fall into this. Tesla sees all this. He and Edison get on the TARDIS and all that. And then they go back to their lives, And it's like, no, wait a minute. It's just like, I don't know. Couldn't there have been like a flash or something happens and they have temporary amnesia for the past week or so? But then they'd remember, hey, something weird happened, but I don't know what it was. I don't know, but that's a problem that you've seen before. So it's not just, the new Jodie's Doctor Who or what have you. But yeah, it just, if you missed it, don't bother. So I'll see what they do next time. But even with all this, it's just, good Lord, could you just get through this and move on with someone else? Because this is a failure. But the worst of the worst is this crappy timeless child story they're doing, and everybody knows what it's going to do. And I don't know if there's time to change course. Obviously, I don't think they would. And it's just too bad. That would be really a serious damage to the lore of Doctor Who. Someone could come along and change it, but good Lord, that would be like, trying to pull teeth out or something with that crowd. So it doesn't look good. Doesn't look good for that. But if it's just another season of stupid episodes like this, it's still bad, but it's not really severe damage as, retconning and rewriting Doctor Who to the detriment of what built it. You got to respect who brought you to the dance, And right now, they aren't, and it looks like they're really going to insult it. And we'll see. Hopefully everything is wrong and it's just some silly dumb thing, and will be forgotten the next episode. But I don't think so. So anyway, thank you for watching and listening. Say, why not like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you. The usual, t-shirts, mugs, posters, pins, buttons, all that delightful stuff. Plus, you can head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of Night Night. Yes, the comic book based on my Night Night audio plays. But now you can see Night Night in action within the colorful pages of his comic book. That's right. So head over to Indie Planet and get your copy of Night Night today. Oh, yes, and you can listen to the Mr. Nailsin Show over at RadioBiscuits.com. New episodes every Saturday. And, of course, you can also watch my videos over at BitChute. Yes, please subscribe to the Mr. Nailsin channel at BitChute.com.